In November 1942, a ship slid into San Francisco Bay unlike any before it. The SS Robert E. Peary, a 441-foot Liberty cargo vessel, was constructed from keel lane to launch in just 4 days, 15 hours, and 29 minutes. At a time when building such a ship took up to 8 months, this feat marked a turning point in wartime shipbuilding and in global industrial history. The feat took place at Richmond Yard No. 2, one of several shipyards built and run by a man who had never constructed a ship before, Henry Kaiser. He was a 58-year-old industrialist known for building roads and dams. And within 3 years, his shipyards would build 1,490 ships, more than all U.S. shipbuilders had built in the previous century combined. At the start of World War II, traditional shipbuilding was too slow. A cargo vessel took 230 days to complete. Meanwhile, German U-boats were sinking Allied ships faster than they could be replaced. Brill was running out of supplies. The Atlantic supply chain was failing, unless something changed. That change began in December 1940, when Kaiser, with no shipbuilding background, signed a contract to build 30 cargo ships for the British. Experienced builders called him a fool. Even his partner, Todd Bath Iron Works, assumed their expertise would carry the project. But Kaiser's lack of tradition became his greatest strength. Kaiser and his engineers studied traditional yards and quickly saw the problem. They were built for craftsmanship, not speed. Everything happened in sequence. First the keel, then the hull, then the engine. Kaiser saw another way. Inspired by the Ford assembly line, Kaiser's chief engineer, Clay Bedford, proposed parallel production. Instead of waiting for each step to finish, prefabricated sections could be built at the same time. One team assembled the bow, while another built the engine room. Cargo holds were manufactured like parts in a factory, then lifted into place and welded together. The rivet, the backbone of ship construction, was replaced with arc welding, a faster process Kaiser had used on pipelines. Maritime experts were horrified. Welding wasn't trusted at scale. The British Navy had even banned it on warships. But with Allied losses mounting, the U.S. Maritime Commission approved Kaiser's plan, out of desperation, not faith. In early 1941, Kaiser built shipyards from scratch across California, Oregon, and Washington. Instead of massive dry docks, he built rail lines, fabrication sheds, and modular workspaces. Cranes could lift entire ship sections. The yards resembled car factories more than shipyards, and that was the point. Then came the workers. Traditional yards relied on craftsmen. Kaiser recruited anyone willing to learn. He advertised nationwide, offering 20% above standard wages and free training. Secretaries, farmers, housewives, and students arrived by the thousands. By the end of 1941, over 10,000 workers were on site, fewer than 2% with any shipbuilding experience. But Kaiser's real brilliance was in how he trained them. Welders didn't need to learn everything, just how to weld one type of seam and repeat it with precision. Productivity exploded. The first ship took 197 days, the second 169, then 128. By spring 1942, Liberty ships were being built in 70 days and still getting faster. Kaiser's yards were producing ships so quickly that traditional shipbuilders were stunned. The most dramatic proof came with the SS Robert E. Peary. After Vice Admiral Land commented that shipbuilding still lagged behind other industries, Kaiser's team took it as a challenge. On November 8, 1942, just past midnight, the keel was laid. Every major component had been prefabricated. 4 days later, the ship was complete. 3 days after that, it was delivered, fully operational. Observers came expecting a hoax. Instead, they saw a functional ship. Admiral Land, once skeptical, admitted 6 months ago, I would have called this impossible. Kaiser has made traditional wisdom obsolete. Shipyards across the country soon adopted Kaiser's methods. By mid-1943, the U.S. was launching 3 Liberty ships per day, more than Germany could sink. But this wasn't just about ships. It was about people. By 1944, Kaiser's yards employed nearly 200,000 workers, including 40,000 women and tens of thousands of African Americans in skill roles, unheard of at the time. In an era of segregation, Kaiser proved that talent could be taught, and that inclusion wasn't idealism, it was strategy. These workers weren't just building ships, they were building futures. Many went on to lead in engineering, industry, and management. Their wartime experience became the foundation of post-war prosperity. The legacy didn't end in 1945. When Japan and South Korea rebuilt their shipbuilding industries in the 1950s and 60s, they modeled their yards on Kaiser's, using modular construction, welding, and prefabrication. Today, every major shipyard uses methods first proven in Richmond. Kaiser's impact went even further. To provide health care for his workforce, he and Dr. Sidney Garfield created a prepaid medical system, which evolved into Kaiser Permanente, now one of the largest healthcare providers in America. 2 of Kaiser's Liberty ships, the SS Jeremiah O'Brien and SS John W. Brown, still float today, proof of what once seemed impossible. So what does this story really show? That tradition can limit us. That innovation requires boldness, not permission. That ordinary people, when given training and trust, can achieve extraordinary things. The Liberty ships carried cargo, tanks, food, and fuel, but they also carried proof that systems matter more than pedigree, and that imagination paired with urgency can defy every expert prediction. Henry Kaiser didn't just build ships. He built a new model